I'm Jennifer from the Worcester branch of the Wayne County Public Library, and in today's Tuesday Crafternoon, I have a new hand-stitched card pattern for you. For the summer, we're going to have a hot air balloon. Now, this looks, a little more complex, but it's actually not. There's a lot of straight stitching, and then there's a very simple reach pattern that gives you this nice curved effect. So what you need for it is, as usual, take a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, cut it in half, going across this way, and you'll need the pattern, which will be in the Take In Make kit for August, or you can just come to the reference desk and make photocopies of it. You will need an awl and a piece of scrap cardboard to punch out the holes. You'll need tape, scissors, needle, and embroidery floss. Now, what I like to use for this is a brown for the basket for the balloon, a black or a gray for the ropes attaching it to the balloon, and then you can do, say, 2 to 5 different colors for the balloon stripes. Now this one has 3, and then I repeat this one down here for these horizontal lines. But I've also done some that were kind of rainbow colored, doing stripes of different colors all the way across, and that's really cool too. Today I'm going to do 3 different colors, but I'll probably only show you one because once you do one of these, you know how to do the rest. It's pretty easy. So with all of that, let's go ahead and get started. Where I'm going to start today is actually with the basket. A lot of times I make this and then the ropes the last item, but I can knock this one out pretty quickly. So we just have here at the bottom 2 rows of holes that make up the basket. And these are just going to be running out and back stitches. So what I mean by that is we're going to do kind of dashed lines, come back and fill them in, but then also do the up and down lines. So I'm just securing the end of my thread with a piece of tape, as always. And what I'm going to do is, if I can grab my needle, I'm actually going to start with these up and down lines first, and then do the running stitch around it. So just up at this first hole and down, directly across, because they are evenly spaced. And then I'm going to move to the next hole and come up. And I'll do that working my way all the way across. Okay, so that's the up and down lines. And then I'll do the bottom, and we're just doing this running stitch, so up, down, up, down, up, down to make a dashed line. Going one way across the bottom, and then I'll come back and fill in the gaps. So there's the bottom. Oops. Always check, make sure you're not skipping a hole. It's real easy to do sometimes. And that's all we've got for the basket. So I'll go ahead and tape the end down. And trim that. We'll set those aside. Now, when you've got the pattern just with holes, it's a little difficult to tell where exactly you're going to start these big stripes on the balloon. But if you look closely, you look at how tight the row of holes is for this smaller part here. And then we want to start at the top row for that. So I'm going to start with blue on the outside, and let's see, yes, I circled the hole I want to start with. It is circled on the pattern. You are welcome to circle the holes in very light pencil on your own cards. It's totally up to you. If that helps you, go right ahead and do it. And then, like I said, this is the reach stitch. So what I'm going to do is count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 holes. I'm reaching forward 9 holes to come down. And then I'll move forward 1 hole and reach back 9 holes to the hole just after where I started. And again, move forward 1 hole, reach forward 9, move forward 1 hole, and reach back 9. So you're making these nice long stitches, and you're just advancing 1 hole at a time to keep that pattern even. Once you get that initial reach stitched in, it's really pretty easy to go from there. And you can see how that curve is starting to form. And this gets us to the last hole for this particular stripe on the balloon. So I would go ahead and tape that down and trim it. Now what I'm going to do is kind of like this one. I'm going to repeat that blue over here on this side and then 2 more colors on the inside. But I'll come back once I've got that done. Well, as you can see, I took that little break to go ahead and just finish up all the stripes on the balloon. As you can see, they're all pretty much the same. Like the first one, we're doing that reach forward 9 holes, and then the back and forth to create the curve all the way up. On this side, it's just kind of a reverse of this. You're still doing the 9, but you're just going in a different direction. And then for the center, you start on one side, go up 9, and you're curving all the way back around to the bottom. Now, for the middle one, it doesn't matter which side you start on. It's totally up to you. But I'd really recommend you always start from these bottom holes. It's just going to make it easier to work your way up and see that curve. So what I'm going to do now is, you can see here there are some rows of stitching at the bottom of the balloon. So I'm going to do that starting here at the very bottom of this first stripe. And this is just going to be a back and forth running stitch and then fill in on the way back. So as always, we'll go ahead and tape down that end. And then I'm just going to go row by row. And this running stitch, you remember, is we're just kind of creating a dotted line. So it's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, all the way around, and then we come back around to fill it in. So at the end of the row, I'm just going to go down to the next and work my way back. And this is one area where it really doesn't matter what color you use. You can repeat one of the colors that you've used in the balloon itself, or you could do something that just coordinates with it, or you could do something neutral like maybe a gray. It doesn't really matter. It's your card, you do what you want. Now you'll notice after these 4 rows where you've got 6 holes going across, we drop down to 4 holes going across. So that's going to look a little different. But we're still doing the running stitch, doing the dashes. And what I usually do once I've gotten to the bottom all the way to the end is I will just go ahead and continue, go up one side and back. I'll finish this line, go up this side and back, and then finish filling in the lines. If you find a way that works better for you, go ahead and use it. This is just how I've fallen into doing it. Okay, at this point, we get to turn around, go back, fill in that dashed line. And like I said, we'll go back across the bottom. And now I'm going to go up this side. come back down, fill it in. And with your sides filled in, and you can finish by filling in the rows. And zigzag your way back up. I've found that this is one of my favorite card patterns to do because it is fairly simple and it goes pretty quickly. Plus, once you've got a color palette figured out for your stripes, you could do like maybe 4 or 6 of these at a time and create an entire set for yourself, which is kind of fun. Your own personalized stationery. And there we go, we've got that all filled in. So I'll just turn it over and tape down the end. And trim. Now, the last little thing we need to do, we've got the balloon, we've got the bottom of the balloon, we've got the basket. We need to put in the ropes that hold the two together. So I don't know if you can quite see it on here. There is a row of holes just above the basket, and they are going to connect to the holes at the bottom of the balloon. So I'm going to start here at the very bottom. And I'm using a dark brown for this. You could use any other kind of brown. You could use silver or gray or black. Totally up to you. Or hey, if you want to give your ropes some color, you can do that too. So this first one, and it's kind of tricky to see, we've only got the 3 holes on the bottom, but then we've got the 4 holes in the row above it. And this is where the opening for the hot air balloon would be. So you need ropes on either side of that opening. So you've got 7 holes down here, 7 holes up here. First one's going to go to this little corner one. And then I'm going to come up this next one down here on the bottom of the balloon. And join it up to the second hole. I'll come up the third hole. Maybe. There we go. And this one is coming to this second row from the bottom. Then I'm coming back to the bottom line. And down to the 4th hole. Up the 5th hole. And then up to this second line of holes again. And then I'll come up this hole. Down to the 6th. And we'll come up the very last hole. And again connect to this little corner hole. So you see, you get kind of a 3D effect down here because the way these lines are placed, you get the impression that this bottom line of the balloon is set further back than this one. So you get that sense of depth to it. Let me go ahead and tape this down and trim the thread. And here we go. I've got a hot air balloon card to share with somebody. These make really good birthday cards or maybe graduation cards even. Something to send people off on their new voyage. As always, you can cover up the back of your stitching with just another piece of paper. Just glue it down on top if you want to hide all your stitching and your ends that are sticking up funny. Up to you. You can also just leave it this way if you want people to see your hard work. So that's going to be our hand-stitched card kit for August. I believe the pickup date for that is going to be August 14th. As we've been doing this summer, this will be without registration. It's going to be first come, first served, 1 kit per family. I'll probably have about 20 kits available, so come early and grab yours. It'll be a grab bag of colors. I don't know what color's in which envelope at this point. And if you don't make it in time, you can't get a kit, like I said before, I will have the pattern and the instructions available in a notebook at the reference desk, so you could make a copy of that and then go home and use your own supplies, whatever works for you. I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and I hope you will be able to give it a try at home. In the meantime, I hope you will stay healthy, be kind, and as always, get creative. Bye-bye.